Hello there, I'm Lloyd Evans. Welcome to the attic. It's time for another voicemail. Today's voicemail is from David. Let's listen to what David has to say.
Hi, Lloyd. So I'm David, and I'm creating this recording for you. I'm trying to get in contact because of a necessity that has arisen recently. So a bit of a background. I'm living with a girlfriend at the moment, and we're both raised Catholic, and we're both nominally Catholic, or were nominally Catholic. So I don't really believe in it. I'm just nominally Catholic for her, but she does believe in a little bit of it. She used to be a bit more of Easter, Christmas type of Christian or Catholic until recently. She started studying with a few Jehovah's Witnesses who came knocking. And at first, I didn't take it too seriously. I didn't really care. I didn't really know. But then things started becoming a bit more serious with her, and she said that she's going to start attending their church meetings, or I thought church meetings, and started doing a bit more research into what they were, just trying to get a bit of a know. And I ran across your channel, and it's a bit shocking what they are. So now the question is, how do I talk her out of it? Now that now that I've known a bit more about the organization, what can I do to reverse the impact that the people having studies with her have had? I've tried pointing out all the things that have gone on in terms of the true witness rule and how we would phrase it, CSA, and all of that shady behavior. But she does not seem to take that to be of much consequence or of effect, because she sees it as every organization or every church has some bones in the closet, being a bit Catholic and recent revelations. She just says they're not too different, they're all the same. But to me, it's quite shocking. So the question there being, what can I do to reverse what has happened? How can I make her see what's in front of her clearly? I can present evidence to her about what the organization's like and the false teachings. But at the moment, she started ignoring all of my attempts at intervention. So what can I do? Thanks for your help. Thank you so much.
Not much, I'm afraid. Thank you for calling in, by the way, and I really do sympathise, but it's not looking good. And I do understand why you would be scrambling at this point to try and, as you put it, talk her out of it or reverse this process that has started. But there are one or two things in your message that indicate that you're going to have your work cut out. And ultimately, as I've repeatedly said in these voicemail videos, you can't just do someone's thinking for them. You know, we all understand this intuitively, that you can't just walk up to someone and say, hey, you're wrong, and here's the evidence. And they will go, oh, wow, yeah, you're right. I was wrong. And now I'm going to think as you do. It's just not how human psychology works. We have this thing called cognitive dissonance, which actually serves a survival purpose, because our brains are trying to preserve our sense of self. Our sense of self is tied in with what our beliefs are. So if it were possible to just walk up to someone and change their minds, then people would be themselves constantly changing, and their personalities would just be completely malleable. So unfortunately, it's not as simple as me just giving you a few magic words to utter, kind of like with Harry Potter. Just say this spell and everything's going to be fine. I think you know that. And it sounds as though she's well along in her indoctrination. Now, having said that, the book that she is studying currently has 60 lessons, and I don't know how long ago it was that she said that she needed to start attending meetings, but it's typically on the 10th lesson in that they put pressure on a Bible student to attend meetings. So it could be that your girlfriend is still relatively early on in the 60 lesson course. But the 60 lesson course is intended to produce a baptized Jehovah's Witness. So, and if you think about it, it's kind of a good way of measuring how far along she is to becoming a Jehovah's Witness if you just ask her what lesson she's up to. And the number that she gives you out of 60 will tell you how close she is to becoming one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Terrible though that is, I'm afraid that's how this works. They've got her. And what really disturbs me is when you say that you've been sharing information about the cover-up of child sexual abuse and she finds it to be of little or no significance. And she's apparently saying things like, well, every church has bones in the closet. If it were me having that conversation, I would turn that round and I would say, so what you're saying is Jehovah's Witnesses are just like every church. You've just admitted that there's nothing unique about this organization. If it were truly God's organization, if the policies were really being inspired by an all-wise, all-loving creator, why would there be bones in the closet? When we're talking about bones in the closet, we're talking about policies, not just a few bad apples, which I think is perhaps her perception of what's going on in the Catholic Church. Oh, it's just a few bad apples. It's a few perverted priests that have been allowed to get away with things. No, this is a policy thing. This is a situation where when abuse gets reported to the elders, abuse perpetrated by anyone in the congregation, not just priests or elders, but anyone in the congregation, rather than contacting the police, they first must contact the branch, and then the branch has an opportunity to cover the whole thing up, as it routinely does. I'm not sure whether that's how you've explained it to her. I would say that if your girlfriend has such a blasé attitude towards this very, very serious issue, that would be a red flag for me if I were in your shoes. And I'm not trying to in any way suggest what you should do in terms of ending the relationship. That's for you to figure out. And it's all to do with feelings and that, you know, human relationships are very, very complicated. But try as much as possible to be objective about this. You're in a relationship with someone who doesn't think it's a big deal that child sexual abuse is covered up by an organization that she is thinking of joining. Maybe you needed to hear me say that in order to, take a step back and think about this situation from a slightly different angle. So, again, I can't tell you what to do. I can't give you any magic words. I think that it would be wise for you to, as I've said before, manage your expectations and work from the assumption that she is becoming a Jehovah's Witness. And again, that number of lessons will be helpful for you in understanding how far along she is. Work from the assumption that it's a done deal and she's becoming one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And try to envision whether you would be happy in a relationship with a Jehovah's Witness. That's how serious this is. You will have opportunities moving forward to have conversations, although it seems as though she's putting up the barriers already. But she will view it as her duty to try to recruit you into the organization at some point, and that will furnish opportunities for you to sow some seeds. But in terms of actually reversing her indoctrination, it's a very, very difficult thing. And many, many people have tried. Many, many people have failed. Some have succeeded, but usually it doesn't end well once it gets past the point that you've described. So I hope something in there has been of help for you. Sometimes I guess it just helps to hear a different perspective on things. And I really do wish you luck. You seem like a really nice guy, and I hope things work out for you, whether it's in this relationship or in a different relationship or in no relationship. I wish you only positive thoughts and prayers. I wish you good things. So thank you so much for calling in. If you would like to call in with a voicemail, the thing to do is go to speakpipe.com/Cedars, remembering to indicate clearly if you don't want me to broadcast your message on my channel. But that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for watching.